Today is the 9th of December. This is our supplier management lecture in MBW7. Okay, and today we're going to be looking at management methods for dashboards. Okay, this means communicating with management through figures. Okay, and the first example is going to be a heat map. You should know what a heat map is. Heat map is a two-dimensional representation of correlations, and we're going to represent the relationships between suppliers and customers in the automobile industry. For that, we're going to take some packages first. Okay, I need to load the packages to represent them, to represent these relationships. And as usual, I need NumPy as NP. I need matplotlib. I also need pyplot. Import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. Okay, those are my packages, the little programs that we upload, like in your telephone when you open an application. Then we need the data set. Okay, and for that, as I said, I'm going to take data from the automobile industry. First, I need the categories. So I need a list of suppliers. Suppliers equals, and then I am going to take just a list. Let's say it's Bosch, and it's Mahle, and it's I don't know, Handmann, and it's Fresenius, and it's Siemens. So how many? 3, 6, 7. Okay, I have 5 already. And it's Airbus, and one more. I want Procter & Gamble, P&G. Okay. And then the customers, the original equipment manufacturers, are, let's say, Audi and Daimler and Porsche and wait a minute, I need to take this call. Just 1 second, okay? I'm gonna stop the video. I'll join in a minute. I really need to take this call. 1 minute. And we can continue. So I have the suppliers and I have the original equipment manufacturers: Porsche, Daimler, Peugeot, and Citroën and VW, and I have 3, 6, and 7 also. So 6 so far, and then I have also Seat. Okay, I don't know. So these are my those are my data and or my the people I am the suppliers I am going to inspect, and then I am going to upload. I have tipped this previously. Okay, so this information is the volume in million euros that these suppliers are, or in million parts if you wish. Okay, so just some matrix information in which we represent the volume that these suppliers are delivering to these customers. Okay, in whatever measure you want. So, and you have this information, imagine, in an Excel, and you want to represent this information for your customer. Okay, in one figure, and you would use a heat map. So the first thing we do, as always, is to reserve some memory. Subplots. Okay, we reserve some memory. And after reserving some memory, we just do the heat map of the information. Okay, if I press Shift Enter. Yeah, of course, it's not ready yet. I am show. Then I need to take the labels. So that was too fast. I need to take the labels. IAX set xtick labels, which is the suppliers. Okay. So, and the names of the Y labels are the OEM manufacturers. Then I go and I say thick tight layout, and then plt.show. Sorry, it should say here, it should say PLT, not, otherwise it doesn't work. So, and you see that it's representing correctly the information. Wait, I only have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I need 8 OEM manufacturers, so I need another one. Let's say Tesla. Okay. And then it's showing also Tesla at the end. And I'm going to take another supplier because I'm going to take 8. Let's say, I don't know, one supplier, Heatmap. So you see now it's representing some colors, and the colors have some meaning, but we don't know what is the meaning of the colors. Okay. So the first line is reserving some memory. The second line is telling I am plotting a heat map. The third line is representing the names on the X label. which are taken from the list suppliers, okay, and the fourth line is taking the names on the Y label, which are taken from the list OEM. And then I am performing a tight layout, but you see on the X label I cannot read it very well, okay, because the names are not rotated. So what I need to do is rotate the ticks of the X label need to be rotated. So how do I do it? I say plt dot set p, okay, set a property on an artist object, okay, and then the property is that the ax x dot get x tick labels. So go and get, fetch the x tick labels, and then say rotation 45 degrees, and then HA to the right, rotate to the right 45 degrees, and then say rotation comma rotation mode equals anchor to get them fixed, okay. So this rotates the X tick labels 45 degrees to the right. If I say Shift Enter, you see that now the names of the X label are rotated 45 degrees to the right. And now it's easier to read whatever is said there, okay? So does it make sense? Any questions? But still, I don't know what the colors mean, okay? So I would like to know, to represent graphically also the numbers, to have a feeling of what the colors mean, okay? So what I do is create a for loop to represent the numbers on the graphic, okay? How do we do it? For, okay, I in range length of suppliers, okay. So as this means that for I in the length of the list suppliers, do something, okay, as long as I takes the values between 1 and the length of suppliers, which is 8, okay. I have 8 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, okay. So I have 8 elements. So for I in 1 to 8, then do something. And then for j in range length of OEM, okay. So it's a for loop that is double. For j in the length of OEM, of the list of OEM, which is also 8, then do something. Don't forget the double points and at the end, because it's important, otherwise you don't get it right. Then write a text. On each cell, write a text. And the text is going to have following information. The value of the volume. A and J. Okay, so for each cell, please write me the value of each volume. And then just position them on the center and horizontally in the center. That's why HA in the center, and vertically also in the center. And the color, give me white. Okay. So if I do this, and I press Shift Enter, it should. It gives a mistake. Okay, what's going on? Something is wrong. What is wrong now? For I in range, for J in range, text Ji volume. Volume, and then HI center, color white. Gives a mistake. Okay, it only takes for 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So Tesla, I'm going to take away. Okay, now it works correctly. So as you see, now I am representing the numbers, okay, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Wait a minute. Okay, now it's perfect without any mistake. Okay, so now you see I am representing the data set that is in form of a matrix, which is numeric. Okay, here is numeric. 6, 7, 3, 6, 7. Okay, which is numeric. I have represented it in form of a heat map. Okay, and the bigger the number, the more yellow it gets. If it's 0, it's always the same color. If it's yellow, it's around 6.3, 6.2. Okay, any questions? Any questions so far? Okay, well then if there are no questions, we can go and continue with the dynamic plotting. Okay. Dynamic plotting is meant for, well, what we have here now, it's just one figure, okay? Of course, this is more pretty than the numbers, and it explains more than, like, for instance, it is said here that VW is getting a lot of volume from Procter & Gamble, and it's getting less volume from, let's say, Mahle, okay, with just 0.7. And so it helps us understand better the data, but it's just one figure, one picture. With dynamic plotting, we can communicate dynamics in the numbers, okay, and it's a more effective communication, as you will see in a second. So, for instance, we can go and say, I need to have a responsive plot. Okay, so this is the example number 2. I don't know, second example. And this is important if you're doing a, let's say, a sales pitch to a customer, or if you're selling something. You need something that is appealing for the eyes, okay? So the first thing is we need pandas as PD, and then we also need import plotly.express as px. Okay, those are my packages as usual. And then I have some data frame, okay, which is just representing. I copy it from. When I copy it, maybe it helps that I put it in the chat so that you can work on it. So I just copy it in the chat, okay. You can, then you don't have to type it. So this is just saying how many orders are placed by a supplier every day, okay? So on Monday, I place 7 orders. On Tuesday, I place 4 orders. On Wednesday, I place 9 orders. And Thursday, 4. And Friday, 4. And Saturday, 4. And Sunday, I place also just 4 orders, okay? So, and I call this, the columns are called day and orders. So if I say data, it will just represent the information just as any Excel data set, okay? But I want to have a pretty responsive plot, okay? Something that when I do a mouse hover on it, it just tells me what's going on in the data, okay? And this is made by using a special way of with this Plotly Express, okay? So the first thing we do is we create, as always, a line. We create a memory usage, okay? So we are going to create a Plotly Express line, so responsive line, which is going to have on the x-axis is going to have the days, okay? And on the y-axis is going to have the orders, the 2 columns that we have, okay? And this is going to be called fig, okay? So now I'm going to give it some dynamic. We do that by calling update traces, okay? The mode equals lines plus markers, okay? So whenever I do a mouse hover, when I go with a marker, with my mouse over it, it's going to show me the line and the markers. What is the marker? It's the dictionary, and it's going to be a size of 10, okay? It's going to be big, and then it's going to have width. The line is going to be ticked width of 4. Okay, so this is just telling me how big the line is going to be on the dictionary, and then I am going to tell him to auto size its layout, to adjust automatically to whatever I need. So then, oh wait, I need to upload another. I need here. I need another package, otherwise it doesn't work. I need panels. Import panel. Okay, I need that too. Otherwise, it ain't gonna work. So, so I continue with that, and then I tell him, well, it's going to be responsive. Responsive equals pn, a panel, pane dot plot line, and then please do me a figure, or the figure is going to be responsive, and the configuration is going to be responsive, and this is going to be true. Okay, and then I say just this is just to name it. Okay, this is a responsive plot, responsive, and the sizing mode equals stretch width, so that it always is as big as my okay. So I have this. If I take wait, if I take the stretching mode, sizing mode, no. So now you see we have the information. Okay, we can change the title. So we can say just orders placed in week 5. Okay, so it just changes to orders placed in week 5. If I put a I don't know how to say Raute-Taste, it gets bigger. Okay, whatever. So I have created a responsive plot. What does it mean? That if I mouse hover on the point, on the data point, it just shows me the day and the order. How many orders are placed that day, which didn't happen before in the heat map. Okay, in the heat map, it's just a figure. Okay, it's pretty, but it's just a figure. Here, it's way cooler. I can mouse hover or I can zoom. Okay, I can just say, well, just show me that. Okay, and or I can move it. I can move whatever. I can zoom it, or I can do whatever I want. Okay. So, or I can download the plot. Okay, I can do basically whatever I want to do can be done, which is way better if you are talking to a customer. Okay, any questions? 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 Okay. Well, then the third example is to create subpanels or subplots. Okay. And in order to do so, we need again our packages. We are going to take also the import panel as pn. And we are going to take from plot line import subplots. Okay, and these are the packages that we need. Then I am going to create 3 subplots. Okay, one with a heat map and 2 box plots. Okay, so the first subplot is going to be a heat map, and this is just heat map equals go heat map. Okay, you see it's a different order, and here go dot heat map y. Okay. So here's the information. I copied in the chat so that you can also copy it yourself in your browser. Okay. Then continue with that. I say the second subplot are box plots. So I say I need some data, y0 equals some random random dot rand n of 50. Okay, and I1 is some random just creating some data set 50 plus 1. Okay, and then I say box 1 is going to be go.box where y equals y0, and the box 2 equals go.box where y equals y1. Box 2. So the data is going to be a list heat map box 1 underscore. I'm missing the underscore, so I need the underscore. Box 1, box 2. Okay. And then I tell him, please make the subplots. I copy the code. It's so long. I copy it in the chat for you. Okay. I append the figures. This means I need to attach the actual figures to it. Trace box 1 in the first position of the panel. Fig append trace box 2 in the second position of the panel, and the heat map on the third position of the panel. So in the second line, first column. Okay. This positions box 1 in first line, first column. This positions box 2 in first line, second column, and this positions heat map in second line, first column. Good. And then I'm going to tell him what is the layout, and the final orders is just to place the layout, set the height and the width of the figures, the title, I love subplots, and then to call the pipe plot line. So you see here the big difference. So here in the first one we have a box plot, which is telling me which is the point, the number of the point, the value, and it's telling me the trace, the maximum, the Q3, the median, all the information about the subplot in just by moving the mouse on it. Okay. The same thing with the second subplot, and with the heat map I can do the same. Okay, so before, as you remember, I just had a little picture, okay, which is okay, but I mean, it's better than the numbers. But now I have something that is way cooler. I can communicate much better with management if I have all this information. Okay, so this is just these numbers. Okay, if I change the numbers, the figure changes. Okay, just the figure changes. Uh, 34. Okay. So, any questions? Habt ihr Fragen? Die Fragen? Okay, well, then we continue with the fourth example. which is going to be a dynamic scatter plot. Of course, all this you can later on embed within your website. Okay, so you can have a website and you can put all this data into your website, which is a really cool thing to do, because then the people that is visiting your website, it's going to be having an interaction with the data. Okay, so saying something, although this extension was loaded previously. Okay, I'm not going to do this because it's not going to work. Wait, do something different. I want to do some time series stuff. Prepare some example. One second. Let's make a little break. In 5 minutes, I send you another invitation. Okay. Make a little break and. So we can continue with the description of dynamic time series. Okay. And in order to do so, we download or import the application panel again and the extensions as indicated. Of course, if some of these applications are not already installed in your computer, which will be the case for the first time, you just, as always, need to say pip install and then say, let's say, panel, okay? Or pip install stream Z or whatever, okay? So this is just, this should be clear. So once you have installed the applications for this, we also need NumPy as NP. We need Altair as ALT, and we need Pandas as PD, and from date time import date time so that we can analyze dates, okay, in a time series as usual, and from string Z data frame import data frame as S data frame. So, and with this datas, okay, so the stream Z stream can be used to stream any kind of data, okay, so we can create a stream seed data frame, accumulate the data into the sliding window, and then map it with Altair line plot, okay, so this is what we're going to be doing. Let's say we have a data frame. Here. And then we defined a function that creates a line. let's say a line plot. I copy it in the chat so that you can perform it better and faster. So this function is taking some data and it's returning an Altair chart, okay? And then we just create some sliding windows. With 50 points, the height is going to be 350, the pane, and then with a for loop we create the data for I in range 100. Then take the data frame and create the function, create the data points. Then I say alt err.pane and press shift enter, and it's giving me an error. Yeah, it should be PD, not D, just PD. It thinks a little bit and then creates the data set as requested. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, well, then we go to the last example, a pie chart, a dynamic pie chart, ein Kuchendiagramm, okay. Ein Kuchendiagramm, we need the packages as usual. I take the packages in, then I say from math import pi, okay, to understand what is the number pi, so 3.14, blah, blah, okay. Then I get some categories for the colors from bokeh palettes, import category 20C and category 20. Okay, these are just some colors, and then from bokeh.plotting import figure, and from bokeh dot transform transform, import, cumulative sum, okay. Then I get some data, which I have already prepared for you. Just copy in the chat, okay. So from some countries, in the chat, put it here, it's sent to you, okay. And then I am going to get this data represented into a pie chart, so in Kuchendiagramm, okay. So in order to do so, we need to define the data, okay. Or redefine the data as a series, as a panda series of x, okay. And then the first thing we do is we reset the index with the name, and the name is coming from the value. And then we rename it with the columns equals index, double point, country. And what I have done is I have created from this list X that I gave you, of the countries and some figures, 100% whatever you want. I have just created a new data set. So if I just say now Shift Enter, I made a mistake typing. Wait. I had a mistake in the typing. So if I now go and say data, you see what happens. Now I have a series, and then the first column, it's called country, and the second column, it's called value. Okay, this is what I did with this line. Just reset the names of the columns with the data coming from the value X. Okay. So now, after doing that, I need to transform this data into something circular, okay? Because I want to make a pie chart, so I need to tell him how many radians each of the values are. So in order to do so, I say data of angle equals the data given by value, okay, divided by the sum of it, data given by value dot sum, okay, times 2 times pi. Okay. So what I have done here, I have transformed the values given 157, 93, 89 into radians by dividing it by the whole sum of them and then multiplying by 2 times pi. Okay. So this seems to work. And then I say the color. I create another variable which is called color. It's coming from category 20C, and this is the length of X. Okay. Shift Enter, seems to work. If I call data, you see that I have added 2 columns. Okay, one is called angle, giving the radians of each value, and then assigning a color depending to the categories, which is given by the length of the name. Okay. So far, can you follow? Yeah, it's just a palette. It's just like, let's say, it assigns a color to a number. Okay, it's just let's say the blues or the reds or whatever. You know, it's a color. It's a color set. It's a color palette. It's called a palette. Eine Palette, eine Farbenpalette. Yep. So, and this is saying I assign to the length of x. Okay, x is here is this number. Okay, to this length I assign one color, and these colors are given by these codes here. So you cool? Well then, after this, I just need to create a figure. Okay, this is done with this code, and I'm just copy it. Okay, put it in the chat. What it's doing is giving me the height, so how high it is, the title, the toolbar location, no toolbar. The tools is the hover, so whenever I go with the mouse over it, it will give me some values, and what it's going to tell me is the country and the value. Okay, and the range is minus 0.5 to 1. Shift enter, and then I just want some wedge on it, some so on P is the figure. Okay, just create me a legend informing me about the countries and about the source data and stuff like that. So if I do that, and then I say create me please the pane, the pie chart, it will create the pie chart. Beautiful pie chart. Okay, and whenever I go with my mouse through the plot, it's just telling me how many or how big is the quantity. In India 42, in Germany 44, in China 63, and stuff like that. Okay, so it's just making a beautiful pie chart that is dynamic. And this is important when you communicate with customers, because customers then will love your representations. You can export this to your website and then just represent dynamically data sets that you are adjusting through some sales modules and stuff like that. Okay, so does this make sense? Any questions? If you want to look at more examples, I leave you here one code or one link where you can look at more examples. Okay. And I mean, there are very many. You can just get used to the paints. Holowitz, it's very useful for your future business. Whenever you have data in an Excel, just forget about Excel. Just try to use this crap. It will give you an edge for whatever you do in the business. All right. So somebody was asking before if I would like to answer some questions on the YouTube channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video now because the lecture is over. But please stay online because I'm going to be answering the questions on the YouTube channel. So just